Oh, we're about to learn them. About to learn these breezes. Yeah, face. Going down, my nigga.
Nothing. Nothing. It's mad and Pokerface forever, nigga. You did nothing, baby.
That's right.
You get thuggin', you know, no lovin', you know, buckin', you know, and nothing, you know, you get thuggin', you know, no lovin', you know, buckin', you know, and nothing, you know.
It's plain and simple, but I break it down to instrumental for you non-comprehending bras. I bust you out like pimples. I'm as real as it gets. Yeah, if you whoopin' all that shit, pay my rent, pay my bills, bitch, you get nothing but dick and a good time. If you wanna grind with your thug, just know for the record, ain't no such thing as love. They be cutie pie, but cutie pie don't get into the bank. I give a fuck up on your pussy, yeah, that shit don't fill my tank. I got you looking at me, wondering how I can be this way. Thinking to yourself, does he mean what he say? Can you twist it up and really make 3D pay? Bitch, not today. I don't give a shit, hell, I'm elected to pay my way. I ain't cheap, I'm just smart enough to know, bitch. Unless using it for your mind, you get no dough, bitch. Everything you're speaking is so irrelevant. Hell, I'm on that pimp shit, yeah.
Thuggin', you know, no lovin', you know, buckin', you know, and nothing, you know, get thuggin', you know, no lovin', you know, buckin', you know, and nothing, you know.
I know you wanna sock it to my pocket, girl, that's why you got it. Wanna cash the big checks at my baby's favorite rocket.
What I do know, Pokerface ain't gon' be a fool, no. And I'm looking out for numero uno. It's sad to say that you ain't even number 2, ho. On my list or on my dick, you need to do more. But them chicks like this is on the do low. We see the hit or miss, fucking with you, ho. And you ain't my only bitch, you need to ask, man. Triple D or Juno. I'd rather sit in jail with years sipping Pulo than pay for you to have them Jimmy Choo type of shoes on. Drop you off when I'm through, when I cruise on. Give me something to remember you, it's your blue gone. I toss it out the window, you in love, I moved on. You fucked up with a San Bernardino thug, poof, you gone. Thuggin', you know, no lovin', you know, buckin', you know, and nothing, you know, thuggin', you know, no lovin', you know, buckin', you know, and nothing, you know.
I'm a lyrical god, shit. Why would I stoop to levels of pan for pussy like it's product when my game is stronger than the average nigga? Check the knowledge. I really need to open my own pimp and whole college. Plus, why would I trick on you when you got way too much mileage? Girl, you been around. I know my game is strong, but again, so quick to pull the panty down. It's an epidemic. Girls is getting looser with the thighs and trying to get payola off of every nigga that rides.
You wanna drive my car, wanna fuck with me cause I'm a star. I travel around the world so far, in the month to get who you are. I left off the R's on purpose, cause you are a bitch. I'm not a fool, don't know who you fucking with. I need to tell you a secret so you won't forget. I use you to make up new moves and practice my game. Get thuggin', you know, no lovin', you know, buckin', you know, and nothing, you know, get thuggin', you know, no lovin', you know, buckin', you know, and nothing, you know, no lovin', and nothing, no lovin'.